My direction from the council. I went home last night and told Patty, I said, I thought we moved a mountain a mile yesterday, so, I think that's, I think that's good. At least we're negotiating, and I think that's good. So I'm absolutely willing to do whatever this board wants me to do with Project 9.
Leave the 25 there. We spoke to leave it there.
Well, here's my problem. If we put the 25 there, it's just like Bill said. They're going to say that they're going to budget $25,000 for next year, and that's not what we're saying. At this point, I'll be honest about it. I'm pro humane shelter. I totally believe in them. But as far as our CEDIT budget is concerned right now, I would like to, for 2013, pull this and add it later once we find out what we're going to do, because how do we budget it if we don't know how we're going to attack that? I do think that the council has told us that we need to do this on a per dog basis, cat basis, whatever. But how can we have it in here if we don't know? I mean, and we can't, you can budget the 225, but I'm just afraid it's going to be detrimental to them if they budget 25,000.
Can you put that in there and budget at something to be determined in the future, or not necessarily tie it to anything?
I'm fine with that, but I have a concern.
And I want to go back to a concern I have is I still believe, Bill, that we need a not to exceed.
Well, that would, not to exceed will be whatever you put in there.
Well, I'm just saying, I think no matter what we negotiate, it has to be a not to exceed, because we can't budget. We can't budget if we don't have a not to exceed.
Whatever number you put on there right now will be a not to exceed.
That is absolutely right. I mean, that is absolutely right. I mean, we in this plan, and let's go back one. Let's go back to the website. We've got $16,000. That's a not to exceed. Well, 8,000. That's a not to exceed. So,
but to say the same token, it can be changed anytime you want to change it.
Yeah.
I understand if there's a valid reason for it.
I would
But I'm just
suggest, and this is just me, I would suggest you put $10,000 on it. That's low. By their request, that's pretty low, but when you get done negotiating the contract, and whatever you come up with, that can be changed to that number at any time. But it's a lot easier to raise it than it is to lower it.
when I put this in, I'm not going to deny it. When I put this in, I had no hope of getting anything, and they know that. Quite frankly, they know that. I said, yeah, I'll put it in, but I have no hope of getting it. Today, I have hope that perhaps the county will be able to help them by giving them our fair share. So I'm willing to do whatever you want me to do with Project 9.
Bill, when you talked, you had asked the commissioners to come up with some kind of a contract. Were you talking about still taking it out of CEDIT, or were you going to do it as far as the general or county general?
I think that CEDIT right now, I think maybe in future years it probably should come from general fund.
The last time we paid them, it came out of a line item in the commissioners.
But right now, it's the only choice you have if you're going to do it in 13 without going back and changing the budget, which you can't do. Couldn't do. So I'd say that CEDIT would be.
Well, and that's not true either, because you have a line item in 2013 for contracted services under you guys for like $70,000 Don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I think you're too high, I think it's more like 30, but that,
You know what I'm
don't quote
saying?
me on it, yeah.
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 So, and that would be a contracted service. If you do a contract with them again for 10, you could take it out of county general and not mess with the CEDIT. But I don't know how much was spent in contracted services just sitting here for 2012, or what else you guys use that for throughout the year. Just saying. Commissioner budget wise, department commissioner budget wise, county general. Am I saying that right, all?
You know, you can read into this whatever you want, and I think I've heard enough here to know where you two are. I'm not against a humane society in any way, but I'm kinda like Bill, I can remember what we were told and assured of. And to say we're going to appropriate $25,000, I think they should have to do like some of our other organizations. Okay, here's a claim, we want $3,000 of our 25, and we pay that. We don't give them all 25 to start with. You know, if we do that, you're exactly right, Don. They're gonna spend it and there it will go. But if we say you have to have a claim, okay, I'm gonna hire 2 more people, blah, blah, for 6 months, that could come under wages or however we divide it up as per contract. I think they should have to come in and show us a claim, what that's been spent for. And they can go, and I suppose they can come back and say, well, you've given us $25,000 and you haven't stipulated how we can spend it. So I think within this contract, but from what I am reading here, that I think both of you feel that we can go ahead and approve Project 9 as is, and start, we're only okay in 1 year, 2013, right? 2014 is
Yeah,
out.
no, yeah, I think, I know we're not supposed to be talking about 2014, but I think, under 2014, that should be changed to 0.
Till we see, but there's certain, before I was certain, and it doesn't make any difference if you make that 10,000, 25. I want the vote to show probably 2 to 1 to be voted, but until I see their balance sheet, their budget, the number of dogs, the parity, the number of employees, what they make per hour. Hell, those employees might be making more per hour than what some of our people
I think
do.
you
I'm
need to
not
know all
saying
that
that's
stuff.
not right, because
Well,
our
I
people
agree.
generally won't get bit by the people that they see here, hopefully.
And I agree, if we're gonna give them the 25,000, they need to be responsible for it.
But wait a minute, we're not giving them $25,000.
No, I know, I
There it
know.
is.
We have to negotiate, and Tom, from what the direction I got from the council is I have to negotiate a per service thing. So every month, they will have to file a claim, we took in, I'm making these numbers up, 32 dogs at $10 a piece. That's your claim.
That just all depends on what you do, but when you put that on there, when you put the amount in there, like I said, I recommend 10,000.
I
You're
know.
telling them that you're in a better negotiating position, I guess, I'm trying to say as a negotiator. They can't be quite as loose as they would if somebody's gonna dump $25,000 in cash. And you're just gonna work out the details and the reports back, budgets, I mean, that stuff you're gonna have to look at before you can really determine what you're doing.
Well, why don't you see what you can find out, and then we'll negotiate a contract, and we know that it's not gonna go over 25,000.
That's my suggestion, that it has a do not exceed to it.
Well, you do, whatever you put in there is the do not exceed.
413. 413.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about for 14, they should come to us, and it looks to me like, maybe I'm wrong, that I'm only negotiating a one-year
I
contract.
think that's what you're doing.
And then they need to come to the county and attempt to get on the budget for 14 and not rely on CEDIT
I think
if
that's
there's
the
other
case.
places.
That would be my request.
Yeah.
I think,
We'll do it that
you in line with that, Tom? I think we're in line with the CEDIT plan will not reflect any money in 14.
Are we having a storm outside?
I don't think
Okay,
so, but I think they're
to
planning
move
the
it
elevator
along,
and
get
maybe
off
push
of
the
it,
power off.
we've been way too long,
I
but
know.
I'm gonna scrutinize
But
things
I'd
pretty
be
darn
willing-
careful.
I certainly be willing to change that number to $10,000. I don't really care, because I don't think that number is
It's 0 for 14 and
Yeah.
3 words not to exceed 25,000.
boy, I like that a lot.
Gotta move this along.
Well, I agree, but I really gotta go to the bathroom bad.
But
before
we gotta
start on
see
this.
the balance sheet.
I gotta tell you, I'm proud of you guys with bladder sizes. I wish I could be there with you. Oh, was that on camera?
Yeah, are you suspending the meeting for 5 minutes?
Yeah, whatever.
Suspending the suspended meeting.
You guys on that, you going through it, 1 through, well, however many you got?
We're to
We're
10.
down to 10,
Down to
11, got 2
We
more.
got 2
What
more.
would I be asking out of turn, would you read off what the first 9 were? I'd just like to know what you did.
Vice Chairman Will.
Project number 1 was provide funds for administrative expenses to Whitley County Economic Development Corporation of $320,970.92. And that would be for 2013,
Right.
158,113.75. Project number 2 was for the GIS projects
Okay.
of $25,000 for 2013. Project number 3 was the onsite offsite improvements for EDC for 2013 was 250,000, and we only used like 50,000
Yeah.
last year. Project number 4 is county highway road projects, 2013, $150,000. Project number 5, provide assistance to the Whitley County Council on Aging, 2013 is $25,000. Project number 7 is county's website maintenance.
6.
Did I miss 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
highway truck.
County highway trucks.
Oh, okay.
You have to buy a truck.
Highway trucks would be $150,000 in 2013. Number 7 would be county website maintenance, $8,000 for 2013. Project number 8 is courthouse repairs and maintenance projects. I'm not really sure where we ended up on that one yet. We kind of dissected that one a
Yeah.
little bit, so
That's where you came
That's
in.
when I came in.
right around $59,000 for 2013, probably close to it.
And all they did, Bill, was really chop out the maintenance part of it and keep the projects that were like a one-time, like the trees and landscaping. Once you did that, that's a project. Are the chairs for the courts, that's a project. The painting and stuff, I feel maintenance should be left in QCAP or that each department's own budget.
Okay, project 10, repairs to the community correction building. I assume you could look at this as a maintenance thing too. I'm not sure, but my personal opinion is, I think the county did the right thing by buying this building and setting it up, and we were given a report yesterday that the jail's to the overmax, right?
And so is that place.
So we,
We got one for less they got in theirs for 3 or 4 more, but
I
not much.
just think we have an obligation to keep this building in good shape, and I don't know where else you'd get $45,000 from.
I'm fine with that.
But I think that's a project.
What does
I mean,
it
that's
need now?
something you're not gonna do.
Roof. And then I'm really concerned if we don't get that parking lot sealed. I know it's sealed and striped together. I don't know as much about the stripes, but I think we need to get that parking lot sealed. If you haven't been out there, it's starting to break up, and we need to try to save it, so. And
Which is
I'm
what-
sorry, the miscellaneous.
It has to be maintained. I mean, we own it, we
Yeah.
gotta maintain it.
I think security cameras
That's right, the miscellaneous, I know I put it as miscellaneous, but there is a specific thing, and maybe
Seemed
you're right,
like
maybe it's
security
security.
upgrades or
Yeah.
cameras in different rooms.
So what's your thought on project 10? Or do you wanna look at each
Completely fine
item?
with that.
I'm fine with it, but I would like to, I was gonna ask about miscellaneous, you think it's cameras?
I think, I'm pretty
At
sure
one time, we,
security upgrades.
not this group, Paula and I, and Judge Hewer, and Mr. Hockemeyer, Paula, had talked about the possibility of putting up a small pole building there for their bicycles and things for winter and stuff. They would take care of everything on it once it's up. But it seems to me it wouldn't take a whole lot of money to go in there. You already got the floor, especially if we seal it, just put a
Shelter for the mopeds.
mopeds, anything you drive, because right now they set out.
Yeah.
Good thought, because
But I didn't know Donna should have put that on the
there's
list.
several other
What about
people
that?
apparently work at Sheriff Wesco, and they go down Meyer Road. It's,
Well, that's so they don't go at 205 with no broom.
right, and they, I get to feel sorry for them otherwise, but that got me thinking, they go out there in a snowstorm and gotta ride that thing to Sheriff Wesco, they gotta hope it'll run. I can see it before it right.
Yeah. That's right.
Do you have a miscellaneous?
No, but I did find the one from the county highway we had talked about. I'll get a, no, I'll
Okay,
get copies.
that's all. We
That
have a
could
meeting,
be,
a director's meeting tomorrow at lunch. I might ask her what the 5,000
please do,
she put in.
please do. But I'm liking your idea. Are you talking a 4-sided shelter or a roof?
Probably a sided shelter.
Okay,
There's
okay.
not much putting,
Because those canopy tops are pretty inexpensive. But all they do is protect you from above.
those metal ones. you can kind
I'm thinking one is sort of a fiber, well, they're both. They're both the fiber top ones and the metal top ones.
A
Just
three-
something that would be.
a three-sided
Sided
building
one.
is a lot more protection than, of course, than being open or one.
Yep.
But you don't necessarily need to have 4, because it's kind of like blowing into a bucket. The water didn't blow, I got that from raising hogs, that's the way we're in, hogs in an open front building. They stay out.
Well, I don't think you want a closed-in building right there
I don't
anyway.
either.
That's what
You
I'm
might wanna
thinking.
close
I'm
3
I'm
sides.
thinking you don't want a 4-sided building
No,
because
but you
something
might want 3.
sure as the world would happen. Are you guys okay then with
Yeah.
leaving it for now?
Good.
Okay.